The scream sliced through the humid dusk, raw and piercing, as if someone had been stabbed. I froze on my new porch in Willow Creek Estates, an MOVYing box slipping from my hands and thudding onto the wood. The neighborhood's flawless lawns and synchronized mailboxes glowed under the streetlights, but that scream choked off, then gone made the perfection feel like a mask. I waited for doors to fling open, for neighbors to rush out, but the street stayed silent, windows dark. It was August 2025, my first night in Willow Creek, and I should have packed up and left right then. I'm Emily Harper, a 35-year-old compliance investigator for the State Medical Board, fresh off a bruising divorce and CRA-VYing a quiet life. Willow Creek, with its colonial homes and tree-lined streets, seemed like the perfect reset. The real estate agent had called it idyllic, but she didn't mention the Homeowners Association or its enforcer, Patricia Langley. Patricia appeared the next morning, materializing on my lawn like she'd been summoned. She was in her late 40s, blonde hair scraped into a tight bun, her blazer crisp despite the heat. Her smile was a formality, cold and practiced. "Welcome to Willow Creek, Emily," she said, thrusting a binder into my hands. "I'm Patricia Langley, HOA president. You'll need to study our community standards." Immediately, she pointed to my front door, a warm coral I'd chosen to brighten the beige facade. Section 5, Exterior Aesthetics. That color's non-compliant. Repaint it sage or dove gray within 10 days. A blink caught off guard. "It's barely different from the others," I said, keeping my tone even. Her eyes narrowed. "I've managed compliance here for 12 years. It's off-palette." She snapped photos of my door with her phone, each click deliberate, like she was building a case. Then she was gone, her heels clicking down the sidewalk. That encounter was my introduction to Patricia's reign. She wasn't just the HOA president. She was Willow Creek's self-appointed dictator, wielding a 200-page rulebook like a scepter. My neighbor, Tom Delgado, a retiree with a weathered face, warned me over coffee. "She's got cameras," he whispered, glancing at his blinds. "Put them up last year for safety. Watches everything: trash cans, lawn decorations, you name it." Guy who pushed back got his car keyed. "No proof it was her, of course. Is it even legal?" I asked. Tom shrugged. "No one's fought her. She's got the board in her pocket." The scream from my first night gnawed at me, but no one would talk about it. Tom muttered something about kids messing around and changed the subject. My investigator's instincts kicked in. Something was wrong here, and Patricia was at the center of it. The first month was a barrage of petty violations. I repainted my door sage green, but Patricia found new faults. A notice arrived for my trash, convening VY Cybele 5 minutes past the 7 p.m. cutoff. Another flagged my porch light for being excessively luminous, though it matched every other house. Each letter, signed in Patricia's florid cursive, threatened fines or escalation. I complied, but the rules felt like traps designed to keep me off balance. Then came the bird feeder. I'd hung a small, decorative one in my backyard fenced, private, in VY Cybele from the street. It was my escape, a touch of calm after long days investigating medical fraud. I checked the HOA rules. Nothing banned small feeders. But by noon, Patricia was at my door, clipboard in hand, her expression smug. "Section 7, Paragraph 3, she said. "Exterior accessories that attract wildlife are prohibited. As someone with health safety training, I'm concerned about disease vectors. Birds carry pathogens. Emily." "It's a tiny feeder," I said, fighting to stay calm. "It's not VY Cybele, and the rules only mention large feeding stations." Her smile tightened. "I'm trained in public health. Are you willing to risk an outbreak for your little project?" She scribbled on her clipboard. "This is your third violation. For triggers a re-VYEW, which could mean fines or liens." That phrase, health safety training, lit a fuse. Tom had said Patricia was an office manager at a local urgent care clinic, not a doctor or nurse. My job had taught me to spot liars, and Patricia was VYing red flags. Why was she claiming expertise she didn't have? I nodded politely, but my mind was already working. I started digging. Online, Patricia was a fixture on local forums, preaching about Willow Creek's standards. Former residents, now safely out of her reach, called her a bully who'd driven out opponents with relentless fines. One mentioned her habit of citing health risks to enforce rules like banning a playground slide over injury potential. I checked the clinic's website. Patricia Langley, administrative manager. No medical credentials. The tipping point came at the neighborhood's Labor Day barbecue. The park was festive, strung with lanterns, kids darting through the grass. I was chatting with the Carters, an older couple worried about Mr. Carter's new medication causing fatigue. Before I could suggest a doctor's VY sit, Patricia swooped in, her voice carrying. As a medical professional, she said, I'd recommend more hydration and a potassium supplement. It's what I tell my patients. She handed Mrs. Carter a business card. Patricia Langley, health consultant, emblazoned with the clinic's logo. Stop by my office tomorrow. I can run tests, save you a hospital trip. My jaw clenched. This wasn't just HOA nonsense, it was illegal. Impersonating a medical professional was a felony, and GIVYing medical ad VYC without a license endangered people. The Carters nodded, grateful, and I knew I had to act. I contacted my super VY SOR, Rachel, the next day. She's playing doctor, I said, laying out Patricia's claims, the card, the neighbors' stories. Rachel frowned. If she's practicing medicine, we need EVY Denke. And if she's using the clinic's name, there could be fraud. We planned a sting. Confronting Patricia would alert her, so we involved the state attorney's office, who brought in the FBI for potential insurance fraud. An undercover agent, posing as a new resident named Lisa, rented a house nearby. Lisa was trained to play vulnerable, friendly, anxious, complaining of dizziness and low energy. Lisa approached Patricia at a neighborhood watch meeting, mentioning her symptoms loudly. Patricia pounced. Sounds like a thyroid issue, she said, handing Lisa her card. Come to my office after hours. I'll check you out, no need for a specialist. The trap was set. Lisa VY cited Patricia's office, a side room at the clinic, used after hours. Wired with a recorder, she captured everything. Patricia diagnosed a thyroid condition, offered to supply medication through clinic sources, and took due law 150 cash for the VY sit. She issued a receipt on clinic letterhead, listing fake SARE VYCS. The EVY Denke was ironclad. A warrant revealed more. Altered patient files, forged prescriptions, and a notebook logging cash payments from 35 residents over 18 months. The clinic's director was stunned, swearing they'd known nothing. The takedown happened at an HOA meeting. Patricia had called to berate me over my bird feeder. The community center buzzed with tension, neighbors shifting in their seats as Patricia ranted, holding up a photo of my feeder like it was a smoking gun. Emily Harper shows blatant disregard for our standards, she declared, her voice rising. The doors burst open. 2 FBI agents and a medical board official marched in. Patricia Langley, the lead agent, said, flashing a warrant. You're under arrest for practicing medicine without a license, identity fraud, and insurance fraud. The room gasped. Patricia's face drained of color, her clipboard crashing to the floor. Neighbors whispered as the agents cuffed her. The medical board official explained, Patricia had no medical training, only administrative experience. She'd been treating residents for years, risking lives for profit. As Patricia was let out, she glared at me, her voice a hiss. You did this. You broke the law, I said, unflinching. Patricia's trial was a spectacle. She'd billed insurers for fake VY sits, sold expired clinic drugs, and manipulated records. The judge sentenced her to 4 years in prison and due law $180,000 in restitution. The HOA board resigned, humiliated, and Willow Creek exhaled. The scream from my first night stayed with me. Tom later admitted it came from a neighbor misdiagnosed by Patricia, whose delayed treatment nearly cost her life. She'd left Willow Creek, too broken to stay. It was a scar on the neighborhood, a reminder of what happens when power goes unchecked. I kept my bird feeder. When a new HOA board begged me to run for president, I declined with a smile. Willow Creek was home, but I'd learned its truth. Perfection is a lie, and silence is its price.